Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Mark from Apprentice 1-to-1, and today I want to talk about the JIB Gold Card. You know, I've seen some videos on YouTube recently of people talking about different aspects of being an electrician or not being an electrician, and fantastic content to take in. And I just wanted to have a chat about the JIB Gold Card and what it means to me and some of the electricians I work with and some people who I've helped train to become electricians as well. It's always something I would push people towards, and with doing Apprentice 1-to-1, and a lot of the apprentices I talk to through the course of the week now, you know, it's their motivation is to get that JIB Gold Card, finish their apprenticeships, and you know, have achieved that, and it does mean something to people, and I want to speak about that. I mean, most organisations that we find in the electrical industry aren't without problems, and the JIB is no different. I'm not trying to sing its praises or say it's some wonderful, fantastic thing. This is just my opinion on it from experience, and the fact that to me it means something because of the people who I worked with early in my career. You know, it was a big part of their lives and their time in the electrical industry. It was important to them, and because of that, it'll always be important to me. I'll always have my JIB Gold Card. I would never knock it as an achievement either. You know, you can see how people often say how, you know, it doesn't prove any kind of competence. There's no quality to it. There's no achievement in having it. It's just a way of taking money off electricians, and it's, you know, it doesn't really help inspire people to want to work towards having it. So I want to offer a bit of counter motivation to people to keep going in their learning and keep striving to get that gold card, because it is an important achievement, or it certainly is to me. I've got my card here actually. I'm just going to have to stick my finger across the number, because I know people copy these things, but you can see there, and it is the registered electrician one, because there was a change now a couple of years ago where you could be a registered electrician, which basically meant you had to have a current version of the wiring regulations qualification to get the gold card. And I think now anyone applying as a new member into the JIB has to have that as well. And on the back of the card, I don't think it's got any of my details on the back other than my qualifications. It'll list some of the other quals that you have, and on mine on there it's got that I'm a member of the IET. There's the 18th edition of the wiring regs, the NVQ3, test and inspection of electrical installations and electrical equipment, and obviously the AM2. And yeah, it's not been updated because there's a couple of other things that could be on the back of there, but I haven't had it updated because I had it done recently for the registered electrician. But to me, this card's really important. If ever I was in a situation where I needed to get work, so the day job had dried up, so this is talking just as an electrician, not a business owner, you know, this card would get me onto site to enable me to do electrical work. And having that peace of mind there is a fantastic thing. Sam actually spoke about that on his chat with Gary Hayes and what the JIB Gold Card did to him, and I'm going to reference a link to that in this video, so I'll pop that somewhere up there. And that's one of the things that kind of prompted me to speak about this as well, because it is a really, really positive thing to achieve. It kind of says how you've been through that apprenticeship process, you've taken on board all of the theoretical and practical training, you've gone and done your AM2 or AM2E if you're in a worker learner, or I can't remember what they actually call it. I've got the website open here, so I'm stuttering and stammering on my words. Oh, the experienced worker route. So you can go through an AM2E as well when you're going down that route. And if you go on the JIB website, you can see all of the information to do with joining there. And I'm talking about this as an actual gold card holder. You can become a JIB contractor, so you can register as an organisation with them, and there's set requirements for paying your staff and other things that you have to uphold to have that. But this is just speaking about the actual card itself. And you know, to achieve it, you do have to have achieved the NVQ3 or equivalent, and you do have to have done an AM2. And that links into one of the podcasts I've got coming out soon. It might actually be released before this video, where I'm going to be chatting with NETS or NETS, and they're going to explain exactly what they do with the AM2. There's all these different bodies and parts of the industry working together to ultimately you know, make people qualified electricians, although such a thing is debated if it even exists, because we're all always learning. There's no disputing that from me. But yeah, rather than trying to knock the gold card as something that's just there as a tax on electricians, it's not really serving any purpose to them. You know, it's no real achievement even. You know, I've seen people say such things as that. You know, it's not very inspiring to apprentices. So I want to come out here and say publicly that I'm proud of my gold card. You know, it was an achievement for me when I got it. I will always maintain it. The electricians I used to work with in the past who taught me were the same. Electricians who I work with now on a daily basis, the same again. And you don't often hear those people saying anything, because usually, you know, people tend to go on social media and the internet to complain about stuff, don't they? It's just human nature. You know, you don't often hear some of the positive stories. So I wanted to just give my opinion on that. And later on in this video, there is Jack, who's going to do some recording. He's my 9-year-old, soon to be 10-year-old son. And just putting, you know, a bit of construction and electrical work in front of his eyes and into his mind at a young age is a good thing. I would never push him to be an electrician. He's a smart lad, so he probably won't want to be. But you know, to put that there, that this is something you can work towards as you go into adult life, and having a trade is a fantastic thing for anybody to have. So he's observing me doing some work, and he's actually teaching me how to work YouTube much better, because he's down with the kids. I've been a 10-year-old, and it's ironic when I get pleased that I've had a couple of 100 views on a video, and then he's watching something on YouTube and it's got something like 20 million views. Puts it in perspective a bit that even some of the YouTube megastars in the electrical industry, you know, really aren't very YouTube famous at all in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, he's taught me there to knock my own achievements with YouTube. But yeah, getting back to the gold card, if I was to see Jack come into my business or another electrical contracting business, the thing I would be telling him to make sure he works towards is getting that JIB Gold Card, because it is important. It does have value. It does open doors. It is something to be proud of. And if you're an apprentice out there right now going through your training, especially during the coronavirus pandemic, do not have anyone tell you that it's not worth nothing. There is no value in it, and it's just a tax on you, and it proves absolutely diddly squat, because they are talking gibberish nonsense. It means everything, and it should be very valuable to you in achieving it. It's right up there at the top of the industry, whether we like it or not, as an achievement as an electrician. And yeah, that's how I see it. And whilst I accept it's not without its flaws, and there are routes to getting one that aren't legitimate, and we've spoken about that on the Apprentice One-to-One podcast. So this is kind of a myth buster for you, if you like, that, you know, while I am positive about many of the achievements people can make in the electrical industry, I do recognise the problems to them as well. But it's not a case of devaluing the entire thing because of those problems. It's recognising them, trying to help move away from those issues and build on the many positive aspects of the trade with as many other people as possible. That's kind of my ethos behind Apprentice One-to-One, and in my own day-to-day working life. So yeah, touching back on the people who are working in my business, I would always press them to be JIB Gold Card holders and the apprentice card holders before that, actually pay for that for our staff, and the same with the IET as well. And speaking about that, we might have some exciting news dropping with the IET and Apprentice One-to-One. I've been speaking with them this week, and I'm very, very hopeful that we might be able to do something pretty cool there. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I think I've waffled on just enough about the JIB Gold Card. So anyway, we'll cut into the rest of the video where I just give a quick run through of the recording of the ZS measurement in my shed, which was part of the Apprentice Week competitions because I couldn't film due to planned birthday celebrations. So yeah, I just wanted to put that on camera to show that I'd actually taken the measurement and have a little chat about that with Jack, who you will see in the video. Hope you enjoy the rest of it. And if you would like to, please leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, like and subscribe to the channel. Any comments or opinions you have about the JIB Gold Card, fire away. I aren't torn to my own opinions and ideas. If you can convince me I'm wrong and otherwise, I will happily accept that and develop my own knowledge and learning. So thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of the video. So welcome back to the channel. This is the Apprentice One-to-One and Power Sonic YouTube channel. I've got a cameraman with me today, and we're going to have a look at the shed and see what the ZS value was for the competition through apprenticeship week. We can prove it. I think I've got another helper on our way out who's going to help too. But you can see here, this is a shed. It's 6 by 3 metres. We've got the outside spotlights, outside heaters, if Jack wants to show people those just quickly. So again, these are on individual circuits, and we've got sockets dotted all around the shed as well, just for using power outside. So let's have a look inside the shed. We're getting comments from the rest of the family through the window, laughing at us doing YouTube at home. But me and Jack don't care, do we, Jack?
Nope.
Come on in. Let's close the door. So, we did a little competition on my YouTube channel to see who was going to win the TIS MFT Pro, and I've got one of those down there now if Jack wants to just get that in the video. That's that down there. And we're going to take the measurement again just to show I wasn't making it up. Got the power bank down here on the floor as well, so we can show you that in action, and it's currently charging a couple of torches up and stuff. Jack's put me on YouTube on the projector just to get my views up, so I'll just pop the lights off a little bit and maybe be able to see that better if Jack wants to point it out there again. So just getting my views up, every single one counts, and who don't want to be YouTube famous? Jack's going to try and get YouTube famous with his own Fortnite channel soon. Right, Jack?
Yep.
Yeah. So if I pop the TIS MFT Pro on, I'm in the socket circuit, and this is just a particular radial into the shed, and consumer unit's just behind there. I'll show you that in a second. If I take the measurement, so I'm on no trip, because as we said, the supply arrangement is we've got a B40 RCBO in the house. It comes down in the steel wire armour cable to the shed, and we then divorce from the earthing system from the house, and we've got an earth electrode in that's in an earth pit just down the side of the shed. It's buried under some stones actually at the minute, so I can't really show you that. I need to section that off a little bit better, because we put the shed up, put the earth pit in, and that was supposed to be finished floor level, but since that point the good lady of the house decided she wanted some nice stones around the shed, so everything kind of got buried, and we need to lift that earth pit up a little bit now. But yeah, let's hit the test button. So we were showing 249 volts between earth and the line conductor, and it's just taking that measurement, and I'll show you what it's come up with in a second. So we've got a PSC of 794 amps and a ZL2N of 0.22, so that's traditionally what you kind of expect to see based on a TNCS earthing system. This is what this house has got, so if we was connected to the earthing system of the electricity supplier, that's what we will be measuring, roughly speaking. And we've actually got a measurement today of 35.1 ohms, and I think that's a little bit more than I actually measured on the time of announcing the winner. But you will get variation, because obviously we've got fluctuation in the supply voltage to the shed, and also the ground conditions around the shed are changing all of the time. So if you remember a week or so ago, it was quite icy outside, and there was a lot of moisture in the ground, and you know, that's all thawed away, and we're perhaps getting a different reading to true earth than we was at that time. So that's that, and that's the TIS MFT Pro, which a lucky winner picked up through the course of that week's competition. And yeah, otherwise that's about it. We're going to do some more testing on the shed now, because this is a couple of years old, and with it being a garden structure and it's exposed a bit more to the elements, and it's timber, so it's all moving all of the time, it makes sense to have a little nip around and check up of stuff a bit more often than you would in the rest of the house. So we've brought the power bank home so we can have the power on in here to entertain ourselves. My apprentice Jack for the day is going to help me take some of those readings. What are you better than Matthew, Jack?
Probably.
Probably. Do you rate Matthew much as an electrician? Do you think he's any good?
No.
People can't see you, so you're going to have to say, is he any good?
No.
I mean, if you were the boss of the company, what would you do with him?
Fire him.
Fire him. Wow, there we go. So we've heard it from the horse's mouth, or as Jack's dressed today, the crocodile's mouth. He's in his crocodile onesie because it's locked down still, and yeah, he's come to help his dad do a few readings in the shed. I'm not going to put him on camera because he's far too YouTube famous. You'll all be able to go and see him soon when his channel launches and he shows everyone how he's the best Fortnite player in the world. Is that about right, Jack, would you say?
Probably not, but okay.
Put yourself in the top 10?
No, I
Nah,
know.
you're too modest. You and your mates are like a death squad. I've tried to play Fortnite against them and I've had to give up. So I play with them now, and it's like playing with some sort of assassins group who just slaughter every single other player on a game. I've got a few wins on Fortnite that I would never have got if it wasn't for this young man behind the camera through the course of this weird lockdown time where we've all been at home. But yeah, other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe if you can, even a thumbs down, thumbs up, click the bell and all of that lot, and catch us on the next video where we might have the proper apprentice Matthew doing some work. Unfortunately we can't film him doing any work because, as Jack said, he should really be fired because he doesn't really do very much anymore. Catch you later.